This chapter is titled Prahlad pacifies the Lord with prayers. So Prahlad Maharaj, the only one who could pray, go near Nrsimhadeva. Everyone was scared to go near Nrsimhadeva after Hiranyakashipu was killed. So here it is said, Prahlad himself is making this prayer, "Oh my Lord, all the devatas, they are all your devotees. But I am born in a demonic family, me and my father. They are very fortunate. Your appearance in this fearsome form is your pastime for your own pleasure. And such an incarnation is always meant for the protection and improvement of the universe. So, Nrsimhadeva's incarnation is meant for the protection, not only for the individual devotees, but also for the protection and improvement of the universe. So the Lord is in control of this universe. Lord is in control of the material world. It is not that the Supreme Lord has left everything according to people's karma and then anybody can do anything. Some freedom is given, just like Hiranyakashipu, by dint of his very harsh austerities, tapas, as per the laws of punya, karma, he acquired a lot of power. He became very powerful, Hiranyakashipu. So that is allowed as per the laws of nature. This is how the material world is created, and the material world is operated on the principles of as you sow, so you reap, as per the laws of karma. But that doesn't mean that ultimately the Lord does not have an oversight over everything that is going on. This Nrsimha Leela is a demonstration that the Lord incarnates into this material world in the midst of the human society. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam. Just to destroy or to suppress the duskritas and to save the sadhus. So it may appear that the material world, there is, like people will say, there is God, why this, why that, so many things they ask. Because the Lord has given the independence to the living entities. The entire material world is governed by the devatas. Devatas are also within the grip of the laws of karma. But at some point of time, we have to understand that the Lord does not leave the situation just like that. We should never forget the fact that the Lord personally is overseeing even the material world. First of all, the Lord as Vishnu, seated in everybody's heart, as Shirodaksha Vishnu. He is actually maintaining everyone according to one's karma. Karma is simply how much one should be given, how much one should be taken away from, etc. That's all. It's a guideline. It's a formula that is used by the Lord. The formula for fairness is used by the Lord. But the giver and the taker is the Lord. to every living being. He is seated in everybody's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishtaha. Ishvara sarvabhutani. Hrideshi arjuna tishtataha. So the fact that the Lord is seated in every living entity's heart is a fundamental cause for us to experience our sensations, sukha, dukkha, bodily maintenance, everything. Over and above that, the Lord has arranged the demigods to take care of all the necessities. So even though this material world may appear to be independent, it is not. It is controlled by the agencies of the Lord Vishnu. And that agencies of the Lord they are always aware that Vishnu is supreme. Krishna consciousness means, no doubt, is to go out of this material world, is to transcend the three modes of material nature and go to Vaikuntha Loka. That does not mean that this Loka is false. This Loka is also real, but everything is temporary. Material energy is real. It is a real energy of the Lord. It manifests and unmanifests. But the energy does not disappear. At the end of dissolution, all this goes into Mahavishnu's body, this energy. And again, all these things come out. The next creation. So it's an eternal arrangement which is made by the Lord. This creation is not meant for, this existence is not meant for us. We always think that, at least the modern way of thinking is that the world exists for me. The world exists for us human beings. The human beings thinks the world exists for him. And then the human beings exploit. They forget that the world exists for the animals also. The world exists for the trees also. They think their theory of philosophy of life is world exists for us, human beings. Human beings are countable living entities. How many living entities? So many 84 lakh species of life on this earth. So world is not existing for human beings, world is not existing for ultimate purpose of the world existing is not for human beings, not for animals, not for trees. It is existing for Vishnu's plan, Lord Krishna's plan, for his scheme of things. He has created this material world for the living entities who wants independence, who wants independent existence. What is the characteristic of life in this material body? What is the characteristic? The characteristic of the common characteristic is we all think we are this body. We all think I am part of this bodily society. Not only I see I am this body, we see everybody as their bodies. Then we think that we are part of this society. It's a trap. We are neither the body nor we are part of this society. Neither we are the bodies nor others are the bodies. We are the persons who are beyond this body. I am beyond this body, but my thinking, feeling, willing is completely governed by this body. We are trapped. We are trapped with this body. Why we are trapped in this body? We are living somebody else's life. Who is that somebody else's life? We are all living somebody else's life. Who is that somebody else? Our bodies. We are not our body, so we are leading somebody else's life. Then where is my life? Where is my life? Any doubt that we are living a life, somebody else's life? If it is your life, then keep your body forever. Let's see. If the body is you, then keep it forever. Why even it doesn't stay as a young body? You become an adult, gone. Young body is gone. Then you become old. So whom are we working for? Something that is continuously fading away into death. That means somebody else's business here. That business is Maya's business. Maya has given all these bodies. Either you serve Krishna or you serve these bodies. If you want to serve Krishna, then you will get a spiritual body. And that spiritual body is not it's an eternal body. That is your own Atma will shape into a body in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, there is no difference between your body and your soul. And that is eternal. And in this body, what all we need, everything that we need, our basic instinct for love, knowledge, power, the source of all that, the ocean of all that is Krishna. The ocean of Sat Chit and Ananda is Krishna himself, is Narayana. Krishna and his expansion, they are all Satchidananda. Advaitam Achyutam Narim Anantarupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Navo Yavanancha Vedeshu Durlava Madhurlava Bhakto Govindamadu Purushottamam Bhajami. Lord Narsinghadev is one such avatar of Lord Vishnu, of Lord Narayana. Narayana is an expansion of Krishna. Govindam Adipurusham. The Adipurusham, the original personality is Krishna. So each of these expansions of the Lord, they have their own leelas. Similarly, Lord Narsinghadev is having his own leela. And what is his leela? He is to protect the devotees and protect the world. Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavad Gita, in one purport, that the scientists have found out atom bomb. They can destroy the world now. But there Prabhupada writes, not without Lord's sanction. Then he decides it will blow. He only has given intelligence to create the atom bombs. When it will blow, human beings cannot decide. The Lord has to decide. He has to sanction. This world is so precarious today. Just a few people, American president and a few people around him, if they decide, they can press the button. Protocol is there. 2-3 people. That much power an individual has got. Yet it is not blowing. Because Lord is in control. And when it blows, yes, Lord has decided. So the living entities are allowed to do this play around. But ultimately, the Supreme Lord is in control. And especially when the Lord sees that the devotees are harmed, he comes down. Not only he comes down as Navasimha Avatara in front of Prahlad, he is continuously there as for devotees, as the deities of Nrsimhadev that the devotees worship. As those deities, the Lord Nrsimhadev's deities are always protecting the devotees of the Lord. Because the devotees of the Lord, they need protection. The devotees have only one desire, devotional service. And they want protection of their devotional service. Devotional service doesn't mean specific devotional service. Specific devotional service, the devotee does not pray for specific devotional service. I want to serve my Guru and Krishna. And that should not be hampered. This is a prayer that the devotee always prays to Lord Nrsimhadev. Please protect my devotional service. He doesn't say protect me. Protect my devotional service. Because just like you see Prahlad Maharaj, he never prayed to the Lord, oh protect me from this cave, from the snakes, protect me from this elephant, protect me from that. He never made any specific prayer. But he had faith that the Lord will give him protection. He had full faith. So each time, whatever was happening, he was thinking, he was understanding, he was realizing that Lord is protecting me in this way. Doesn't matter. Let them put me in a snake pit. Doesn't matter. Lord will protect me. Not that at that time, he is asking for protection from snakes, protection. No, he is completely absorbed. The moment you go into specific, then you come under the bodily concept. Then you go to specific prayers. Because in this material world, we are all in the bodily concept. Especially when it comes to danger, when it comes to defense mechanism. Body comes into defense mechanism when somebody is attacked. So it is a bodily kind of a desire. So devotee never prays for that. Devotee's prayers are to Nrsimhadev for protection of his devotional service. But from the side of the Lord is very specific. He will decide. Each point is carefully, he is very much seated in the heart, he is very protective of his devotees. Every detail of a devotee is being attended to by the Lord. This one has to have faith. The Lord is personally protecting the devotees' devotional service. The devotee means he does not make any offenses to other devotees. If a devotee is making offenses to other devotees, then the Lord is not happy. Then he has got another course of reciprocation for them. They may even lose devotional service. You cannot make offenses to the Lord and go and pray to the Lord, protect my devotional service. So therefore, one thing we seek protection, Lord Nrsimhadev will always protect us. But don't make offenses to the devotees. And devotional service will always be protected. Because devotional service is very dear to the Lord. Why would the Lord allow a devotee to be deprived of devotional service? So one lesson in this entire thing, episode of Prahlad, that as devotees we need to understand is not to seek specific prayers, specific protection. Because the moment we become very specific about some protection, then you are not surrendering to the Lord to protect the way He wants. So many different occasions, so many different kinds of hardships the devotee has to face. And it looks like apparently no protection is coming from the Lord. Why the Lord is not protecting? The devotee should understand that Lord's only goal is not to protect you. Lord's goal is to evolve you into a good devotee. So if you have to be evolved into a good devotee, sometimes the Lord has to put you in a lot of danger. Not that He will put you in danger, He is not so cruel. Due to your past bad activities, you will go through a lot of hardships. Every papa brings a pain, brings unfavorable situation, brings powerlessness that we have done. And those situations are situations that teach the living entity how to depend upon the Lord. Number one. That teach the devotee detachment from this material world. The Lord's goal is to evolve you and take you back to Godhead. If you think everywhere, if you experience that the Lord is protecting, then you say, it's good, I can be here only. I can settle here only. So his drishti is something else for the living entity. So from his drishti, there may not be protection, apparent protection. You have to go through that hardship. You have to go through that torture. You have to go through that pain. And what is the attitude of the devotee? The attitude of the devotee is, I am suffering due to my past bad activities. Every action has a reaction. And somehow this, whatever this I am getting is very reduced scale of suffering that I am getting. One time Prabhupada was giving lecture in Canada somewhere. And then Prabhupada was saying, modern civilization, he was describing what is first class citizen, second class citizen, like that. Then he said, modern civilization is fourth class, Prabhupada said. Then one person got hurt, he stood up and he asked, what is your class? He asked in a very derogatory manner. Prabhupada said, fifth class. So then after the lecture, the devotees went and told Prabhupada, how dare that person ask you like that derogatory? So Prabhupada said, in some life I would have hurt you. So he came to hurt me. So this is the way devotees see. There is a cause for everything. There is no accident. Laws of karma is there, or the Lord's intervention is there, or a combination, both are there. This is the perspective in which the devotee takes hardships in life, dangers in life. But whatever danger the devotee is ready to face, any material hardship, but one thing, please don't take away my devotional service. That desire is strong. He will ask the Lord for it. Please don't take away my devotional service. Please protect my devotional service. So we have Prabhupada, have Narasimha deity in all its temples. We are a preaching mission. That means we are not simply doing bhajan and sitting for ourselves. We are going out into this world. We build institutions to serve the society with Krishna consciousness. So we are very active with the outside world. We are constantly interacting with the outside world. So practically all the difficulties that anybody else would face, we will also face. All the difficulties that anybody would face to build an organization and etc., we will also have to face. So many enemies will be there, demoniac people will be there. They become envious of even building a temple. Why you are spending such big money in this temple? No, I won't give approval. Because it is his opinion. Why is crores they are spending in temple when people are suffering? Yeah, people are suffering, that's why we have to build a crores for temple. They don't know that the temples of Prabhupada are spiritual hospitals. You ask that very same person, do you need hospitals? Yes. You need hospitals. That I will approve. Temples, waste. Temples are spiritual hospitals. See, from our temples now, spiritual hospitals, special medicine is going out to 17 lakh children every day. And that medicine is being administered every day. So everything in the society can be spiritualized. And that temple is the center of that place, because temple means it is God's house. There is no temple without deities. Deities are the Lord's incarnation, Archa Vigraha. All activities in a temple are centered around the Archa Vigraha. The Lord has come to live with us. And we serve Him personally, just like we saw today. Yesterday we saw Rath Yatra. We are not taking some 2 brass pieces for Rath Yatra. We are taking the Supreme Lord Himself, Krishna and Balaram. We have done elaborate Abhishekam for Krishna and Balaram, Govinda. The Lord very mercifully, personally accepts these sevas in His Archa Vigraha from His devotees, giving an opportunity for the devotees to feel personal and feel linked up and feel connected with the personal Lord. And if the Lord is taken care, if the Lord is pleased with Sankirtana, with wonderful festivals, with feeling His presence, and making more and more people feel the Lord's presence in a temple, then everybody who is getting attached to the temple is buying a ticket to go to Vaikuntha. So Prabhupada's temples are temples where free ticket is issued to Vaikuntha. You have to chant Hare Krishna. monetarily free. You have to chant Hare Krishna. You have to serve the Nama Avatara of the Lord. And you get the Nama Avatara from the temple. When you come here, hear Prabhupada's chanting, you hear the Sankirtana here, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra goes into you. By associating with the Hare Krishna movement, somebody starts chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. By associating with the Hare Krishna movement, one starts chanting Hare Krishna. That's why it's called Hare Krishna movement. So you have got the Hare Krishna Mahamantra from Prabhupada, the founder Acharya. And chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only process. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. Kalau nasti, 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 gatikallita. Anybody who is very serious in doing japa, then his life is successful. All the other things, by association with the holy name, one gets all good desires. Everything else automatically happens. But how do you serve the holy name? You serve the holy name by chanting and by hearing, giving your attention to the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Our attention is always going everywhere. Attention is what is coming from the soul. Even though we are trapped in this body, there are 4 things from the soul that is peeping out. Just like you pack something, then it gets covered, isn't it? The inside material you don't see, it is covered. Similarly, our material body is packed with the soul. Our soul is covered by this material body. So I am seeing this material body. But what is it? Is there anything about the soul that I can be, okay, I am covered with this material body? Is there anything about the soul that is there now in each one of us? There is. What is that which is coming from the soul? Attention. Your attention energy. And there are 3 other faculties of the soul that is also very active in this material. Desiring, identifying, desiring and willing. We are all capable of role play, isn't it? Yes or no? Suppose I give a script for a drama and I give you a role, and then I tell you, now you have to play this role on the stage. Can do it, right? If I call a few dogs, give a script, ask you to role play, it cannot. Cannot role play. But we, as a human beings, can role play. So there is it is called identifying faculty. We can identify ourselves with different things. I can identify myself as a king and play a role of a king. I can identify myself as, I may be a man, but I can identify myself as a woman, put a woman's dress and I can play. Is it not? So we have got the ability to identify who I am this. And it is that identifying energy that we have constantly utilized to say that I am this body. To live in the spirit, to think that I am the body, something soul should be doing, no? What is the soul doing? When he says I am the body, identifying I am this. I equal to body. Identifying. So identifying energy is constantly active. Once you identify, then there is desiring faculty. So Suppose you identify first, I am a man. Then desiring is what? I like and I want. That's desiring. The soul has got liking energy and wanting energy. I like and I want. Each identity has got different liking and different want. Moment I identify myself as a man, then I like and I want all that a man wants. Want all that a man likes and wants. Suppose I identify myself as a tiger, then my desires are all that the tiger wants and likes. Suppose I identify myself with a materially successful man, then what list is there? What is materially successful? All that you like and want. You create like and want. Why you don't like and want everything that the tiger likes and wants? Why not? Because identifying is come before desiring. You are identified with this body, and then comes desiring, then comes willing, the freedom. You are acting in order to fulfill those desires. Now, identifying, your attention is the energy that is coming from the soul. Attention is like a torch. If you show the torch somewhere, then you will see what is there, isn't it? Suppose everything is dark. Take a torch. I show on that picture. Then I see the picture. Isn't it? So attention is, think that the soul has got a torch called attention torch. So we are shining our attention torch. Now all of you are shining your attention torch on what I am speaking. Agreed? You are not shining your attention torch on, in my house I have kept something, I have to cook something. No. Your attention torch you are shining on what I am speaking. That means you have got freedom to shift your attention energy where you want. Just like now your mobile will ring. Then immediately the material energy is seeking your attention. Now you are deciding, hey, class is going on, stop, afterwards I explain. Put it off. Or you may say something very important, no, you will get out of the class and go. Why? Attention is not there. You have taken a decision to move your attention. So attention is very fundamental spiritual property of the soul. If that can be offered to Krishna, all your life is solved. Always be attentive of Krishna. That's what Krishna says. Always think of me. Manmana bhavato madhyadi mamskuru. Biggest secret Krishna says to come out of this covering. To come out of this covering, our attention has to get spiritualized. Our attention has to get Krishnaized. And then what happens to our identifying energy, identifying faculty? I told you, soul is identifying. I am not this body, I am divine. I am not this dirty body. I am not this dirty body, but I am divine. I am divine. Everybody is divine. Every soul is divine. Why is divine? We are all amshas of Krishna. Krishna is divine. Krishna is Satchidananda. We are also Satchidananda. Krishna is Pavitram. We are also Pavitram. We are also pure. Simply by identifying with this body, I become my consciousness. But my consciousness, original consciousness is pure. I am a pure devotee of Krishna. I am a servant of the Lord. I am not a master. I am not only servant of the Lord, I am the eternal servant of the Master. I am always the servant of the Master. Even now, when I am a karmi, I am a servant of my Master, the Lord, but through the agency of Maya. I am following the directions given by Maya. Serving which Master? Krishna. Then nothing. So either you can be a loving servant of the Lord, or you can be dictated by the agent of the Lord, Maya. But you are a servant. But you are a servant. You did not choose to take birth in this family, in a particular family. You did not choose to take birth as a man or a woman. All dictates of Maya, according to karma. No choice. The moment you get a man's body, then you say, I am a man. But what happened before that, before birth? Whatever previous body, I had that. But you have no control over taking this body or that body, you have no control. That means you have no control, means you are servant, you are serving somebody else. What is that? The laws of nature, the laws of dictated by Maya, for those who do not want to surrender to the Lord. But if our attention, our identifying, once you give attention, you should identify yourself in every situation as Krishna's servant. Everything as belonging to Krishna. That sense of identifying oneself as a servant of Krishna, and everything else also Krishna's. Every living entity is Krishna's, every energy is Krishna's, everything is Krishna's. Everything belongs to God. That consciousness, that attention should get that consciousness. So identifying energy is purified. How? By repeating yourself that I am servant of Krishna, I am not servant of Maya. And everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is serving Krishna. Because it belongs to means it's serving. Everything is serving Krishna. Favorably or unfavorably, it's serving Krishna. So identifying. Then desiring. Moment you identify yourself as a man, you get man's desire. Moment you identify yourself as a servant of Krishna, you will get desires of a pure devotee.